Hello, I want to welcome each and every of you to the maiden edition of Teens Reality TV Show. I am your host, Pastor Udo. Our vision is to create a new brand of teenagers who can get to understand who they are, who they were created to be by God, and helping them navigate this life easily by His help. It is so important. Hello. I want to welcome each and every one of you to a brand new episode of Teens Reality. My name is Pastor Udo, your lovely host for today. In fact, we're going to be having a swell time today as we continue delving into our ongoing series, Current Realities Faced by Teens Today That Need to Be Addressed. The truth of the matter is that a lot of realities, a lot of things, issues have come to the light that as parents, as guardians, as observers, people in the community observing children and teenagers, that we can no longer be silent about. We are called to speak up, to observe it. Many times the teenagers may be bold enough to come forward and relate what is happening in our lives. We then have to observe. Many times a parent can become too busy. A teacher might become too choked up with, dealing with a lot of issues from other kids, and sometimes you might ignore one person, one teenager, one kid in your class, and you might not just understand that kid is struggling with an issue that they do not know how to relate or share with someone else. So in this season, I want to encourage every one of you who is viewing us right now, whether you're a first-time watcher or you've been actively following us, we want you to understand this, that please, you are called to stand in a place of observation. Remember, the children of today are the future leaders of tomorrow. If we do not actively try our best to preserve, protect, and ensure that they are not derailed or go astray from the original path of God's intention for them, we'll end up with us in our hands children who will become a terror to us in the future. So, to every one of you who has been following, I want to encourage each and every one of you, feel free to share with us. Whether you're a teenager, you can share anonymously. We're not going to release your name, release your location, you understand? We just want to understand what is happening with you. And with the help of the Holy Spirit, help you address that situation. Help you realize that you are not alone. You have never, ever been alone. That you are loved, you are appreciated, and you are valued. Because many times the ongoing narrative is that you are just you, nobody cares about you, so that whether you're going through issues or difficult times, nobody cares. But that's a lie. Someone out there cares. Many times your parents, those ones that seem like they're overbearing and they're over controlling, they do care about you. And if only you be bold enough to share the issues that you are facing, you will find out that there is help and support that can be offered to you in time. The one thing I will encourage you as a teenager who is watching right now, don't be silent when you're speaking up can help you, can save you. The one thing you must also not keep you from speaking is when someone begins to threaten you. That threat is a way of them revealing to you that what they are doing is actually wrong. That is the other party, is actually wrong. So you're choosing to speak up is a way for standing for truth, standing for light. It might be painful, it might even be embarrassing, but the moment you choose to speak up, there will be help and a resolution to that issue. Alright, today we're going to be watching two separate videos of current realities that our teenagers are facing. So as we look into those videos, I want you to open up your mind and explore together with us what exactly has been going on. We will be watching the first video right now. Do stay tuned.
It's disgusting news. A 12-year-old girl publicly sold her private pictures in a 762 members WhatsApp group. So around August, according to the police, the 12-year-old has another 4 accomplices that's around the same age, and all of them were selling their private pictures online. And the most disgusting and craziest part is they ran and managed a WhatsApp group that has 762 members in it. Everyone inside probably they are pedophiles. And according to sources, police said that some of the girls even even quit school because they earn more than their parents. Currently, the police are still investigating the 762 members in the WhatsApp group to see whether it involved grown men. But I mean, it's pretty clear who are in those groups, right? I feel like it's really difficult for parents these days. Like, you want to give freedom to your kids to have phones, you feel like you don't want to control them too much. But then you also worry about this kind of thing will happen to them, that they will learn something really bad, like selling their private pictures online. What the hell? And I remember when I was 12 years old, we don't really have phone yet, and I'm watching Naruto, I'm running like Naruto, I'm playing basketball. Do you guys think that parents should control their kids' phone usage time?
Alright, you watched that video right there for yourself and you saw it. Teenage girls selling their private photos online. Now, we've been coming from the aspect of the fact that we've seen a lot of predators online, those who are trying to attack your children, start using different identities and such. But now we look at it from a different perspective. These now are the teenagers themselves actually selling those pictures. Let's imagine a scenario. Teenager grows up in an extremely poor situation, terrible home conditions. In fact, it's like the parents struggle to put food on the table each and every day. And every single time you see these young teenagers, girls or boys, whichever the case may be, they go around, they look at others who seem to be doing so much better than themselves. And they begin to wonder, why is my situation like this? Is it something wrong that I was born into this kind of family? Can't I find a way to take better care of myself? And then for one reason or the other, they're exposed to perhaps, these sitcoms, TV shows, and they see people begin to make what looks like easy money for what they feel is a little given in exchange. And now maybe someone now comes up to them and tells them, oh, I know you need ready cash. Would you be willing to do this? Sell me your private pictures and I'll give you money. And now they are faced with all this money. And I want to understand this, that this money might not be so big, but compared to where they are coming from, it looks huge. And now the person begins to tell them, you just give me a few pictures of yourself. I don't need to meet you physically. Just a few pictures, use your phone, snap yourself, send it. And this amount of money will be given to you either physically or sent to an account or whichever way possible. And to this teenager, a whole new world has been opened. Poverty seems to have come to an end, a way to get access to money. Because sometimes I want us to look at it from a perspective of what must have pushed some of these teenagers into selling their pictures. That is just one scenario. A teenager trying to deal with the absence of necessities. We're not just even talking about luxury items or things they feel they want, but things they know that they need. Day-to-day necessities that some other homes you have it in abundance and being taken for granted. And now they are faced with this kind of lucrative, in a sense, business. You understand? Someone telling them just a few pictures, your face, oh, you look beautiful, your body is beautiful, just snap it. We're not going to use it for anything extreme. We just want to look at it and appreciate it. I have a lot of money to spend, you understand? And these girls and boys begin to sell those pictures online. Or take, for example, the scenario of another kind of class of teenagers who now are not necessarily lacking money per se, or have grown up in a home where the parents don't care about them. They're not paying close attention to them. So they are free to do what they want to do when they want to do it. And are trying to get attention, they're going with the wrong crowd. And it's being told to them, oh, this is the hottest thing online, this is what everybody is doing. You need to do it if you want to be accepted. And now they are coerced, they are pressured by friends into selling their own pictures. Are you aware that many times you might give yourself the excuse, like for the first scenario, that it was a lack of money that pushed me into doing it? Because if you're a young teenager watching this right now, or you're contemplating doing such, perhaps someone has spoken to you right now, there's someone you're chatting with online that's telling you just a few pictures and this amount of money will be paid into your account. You understand? Or just a video call, just this kind of provocative conversations, and this is what you gain access to. The question really is this: no matter what you're facing, how do you really see yourself? Because that's the first question. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as somebody who just needs to be observed? Someone that you can just give yourself, give people access to you, because once one person has access to that kind of provocative photos or videos of you, it can go everywhere. Remember, you're sharing it online. The video talked about a WhatsApp group where those pictures were being sold. So once one person has access to you, the entire global village, as you see it, can have access to you also. Imagine your face splayed across platforms you never even thought to be on. Imagine the embarrassment, the shame. I was watching a particular short clip and I saw someone just like came up to an older woman. I was like, I think I saw a picture of your daughter's face on a signboard in one city, you understand, for a strip club. And they were like, what do you mean? Like, you have to go see it for yourself. And she went and she saw her daughter, you understand, meaning that her daughter had once stripped to earn money. And now, though years have now passed, because in actuality, that daughter in question was no longer stripping. But at the time she was stripping, she was extremely popular. And her face was now used as the cover of that strip club. So a huge billboard with her face and all of her assets were displayed right there for anyone to see. And now years later, that picture has still not changed, even though the girl was no longer working in that club. So imagine the shock that mother felt seeing her daughter up there. And now the daughter is set to becoming a lawyer. But look at what is displayed. Are you aware that sometimes things you do right now that seem like they don't have any effect will come back to haunt you later? You tell yourself it doesn't matter. It does matter. Which brings us back to, how do you see yourself? Do you really think it's all about money? If there is no money, your life has no meaning. Sometimes it might be like someone has labeled you, or circumstances or fate has labeled you poor by virtue of the family you were born into. Sometimes it might be like as if you are being abandoned, neglected, unloved, unwanted. But I want you to understand something. You are not. Don't ever feel yourself pressured into choosing that extreme option when faced with difficult choices. Don't look down on yourself. You're so much more than that. You're so much more than that. Let me give you a classic example. There is a woman who was a prostitute in the Bible. Her name is Rahab. She was a prostitute for not just poor people, for high-ranking generals, you understand, in her country at that point in time. So she was earning a lot of money. Do you get? She had a lot of influence per se. But at this particular point in time, she had heard about God who had been helping his people take over territories. And she wondered, could my own story change? Do I really need to remain a prostitute for the remainder of my days? And she chose to take a gamble. She willingly invited spies from this other kingdom that seemed to have a wonderful God into her home. Preserve them when kings were, as the king was trying to hunt them down and capture them. And she hid them in her home, helped them escape safely. And the Bible shows us that by that singular action she took, her entire family was preserved when the destruction of her nation took place. She changed the narrative. She was not just saved, you understand, her family physically. She was saved from that life of prostitution, where she had to be used, her body had to be used to please men. She was set on a new course entirely. A new course entirely. And even more wonderful, God used her, and she became one and part of the lineage of Jesus Christ, our Lord and our Savior. It might look like things are extremely bad right now and difficult, but remember, in the midst of that difficult, choose to see yourself the way God sees you, as someone worthy to be saved, someone worthy to be loved. Take our time to pray. Take out time to seek help from the right places and not the wrong sources. Don't allow yourself to become pushed into doing what you ought not to do. You are loved, you are valued, you are appreciated. We're going to be taking a quick break right now. When we return, we will continue. But I want you to remember that this is Teens Reality on our YouTube channel, Life Changers Touch TV. You can do well to share with us whatever it is you're going through. You're seeking help, counsel. You just want to share what is in your mind. Reach out to us on Instagram, TikTok, Telegram, WhatsApp using the number +234 813-929-2708 or send an email to teensreality@lifechangerstouch.org. We'll look forward to hearing from you. So just stay tuned. We'll be back shortly. Hello, I want to welcome each and every of you to the maiden edition of Teens Reality TV show. I am your host, Pastor Udo. Our vision is to create a new brand of teenagers who can get to understand who they are, who they were created to be by God, and helping them navigate this life easily by His help. It is so important. Alright, welcome back from that quick break. Thank you for staying tuned. Now, still based on the story of that young woman we're talking about, you can read her story for yourself personally in the Bible. Just open to the book of Joshua, chapters 1 to 3. You'll see her story for yourself. The story of a woman who refused to allow her present circumstances define what her future would become. She chose to change the narrative by trusting in God. She chose to believe in God. So right now, you might be a teenager who is watching this, or a parent who has a teenager who has gone down this route, and you feel like you don't know how to reach out to them. I want to encourage you. Don't seek or resort to blaming them, insulting them, or castigating them. Instead, try to help them begin to see themselves the way God sees them. It might be like they have not really felt seen or appreciated much. Or help them to become confident in their own selves in the way God has created them. And help them understand, money doesn't need to come from only one source. They can try their hands at other kinds of jobs, legal, morally upright jobs, instead of resorting to such means. You understand, they can try their hands at that. But one thing is certain, don't beat them down. The Bible talks about helping a brother when he's down, not trying to crush him, helping him in those difficult times. A time will come where you yourself might find yourself in that situation, needing help, needing support. And because of that help you've once rendered, it will be returned to you also. So lovely teenagers out there, you're so much more than selling your private pictures online. Don't give in to what those predators are saying. Don't give in to their lies of, oh, you need money for this, you need money for that, and this is a quick way to make it. Yes, you need money, but not only through that source. Other sources in the right way are available to you. Alright, now I want us to watch another video, and when we do, we will see for ourselves other issues that are arising, because another thing we're going to be considering is how much control should parents truly be allowed to have over their children, the use they have of electronic devices and their access to the internet. Let's watch the video together.
All right, this is big news. Roblox back in the headlines again. As you know, it's been the focus of attorneys general all across the country. They're saying that predators are using the game to groom and exploit children. And now a father is speaking out saying that his son fell victim despite using parental controls. Here's Jolene Kent with more.
For Stephen, a dad of two, letting his tween son play Roblox seemed like a safe bet.
I set up every parental control I could find and did the best I could.
Roblox is one of the most popular gaming platforms in the country, hosting millions of user-created games.
How fast did this happen?
Days. Within hours.
Stephen, who asked that we use only his first name for privacy, says an alleged sex offender posing as a 16-year-old befriended his 13-year-old son on Roblox in the platform's popular pet simulator game. He says the child predator then offered his son Roblox gift cards in exchange for sexually explicit photos, which the son sent via Discord, a separate gaming and chat platform.
At a certain point, it was, tell me what your address is. And when he said no, he's like, well, I have these photos of you, I'll tell your parents. He was 30 feet down the hall from us and felt too trapped to come and talk to us.
Stephen is now among the dozens of families and attorneys general in Kentucky and Louisiana suing Roblox and other tech platforms, alleging they allowed sexual predators access to their kids.
Why sue Roblox and Discord?
Because at the end of the day, the thing they seem to care about the most is the bottom line, the profit. It almost feels like they're a haven and for predators, pedophiles, dangerous individuals, and they should do better.
The suspect pleaded guilty to a first-degree felony child endangerment.
We take every case of harm extremely seriously.
Matt Kaufman is the chief safety officer at Roblox.
Our goal at Roblox is to be the safest place on the internet.
He says Roblox does not allow image sharing in filtered chats and has rolled out over 100 new safety features this year, including age estimation and increased chat monitoring.
We have safety systems that are in place by default, and a lot of these situations that you're talking about, like sextortion, people sharing graphic images, they simply cannot happen on Roblox.
Stephen's attorney, Alexandra Walsh, is currently investigating hundreds of cases.
Roblox was the gateway. Roblox is the site that gave this predator, this very dangerous man, the ability to find, target, and groom this child.
How's your son doing?
Day by day.
Stephen has moved his family across the country.
All right, welcome back. You saw for yourself, I remember when we were on the series about parental controls, you understand, the kind of controls parents ought to bring to the table in raising their kids. And we made mention of media supervision, the kind of access you give them, you allow them when they are given electronic devices like phones, tablets, iPads, what have you, MacBooks, and we made mention of the fact that yes, these controls that have been offered on these devices must be engaged. But my own concern at that particular point in time was I personally feel, it's my own personal feeling that some of these kids ought not to be allowed to use devices until they are much older. And I was reading a study that these kids born in these 2000s, and many of them have lower concentration, as well, lower concentration, because many times they're on the devices, so they have a low attention span, very low attention span. They are moving from the next one show to the next, short clips, 30-second videos, 15-second videos that just make them laugh, feel excited, and they're on to the next. It's hard to see someone who is able to sit down and watch a 15-minute video, a 30-minute video that is either educative or informative. So now, look at this dad talking about his son, the kind of access he felt, okay, I'm giving him the device, I'll do my own part. Yes, that was very good for him, commendable of him, to try to ensure that he used every single kind of parental control that was available to him right there before his child was allowed access to what he thought was a seemingly harmless platform. But now you must remember that while technology has its advantages, it has its disadvantages. Even listening to the so-called safety officer there from the Roblox, who talked about the fact that it is impossible to share pictures on their site. It's only impossible because maybe your programmers or those who wrote it told you that it is not. But there are other people out there who are exploring this, who are opening up loopholes, giving ways for these predators and pedophiles to gain access to kids who right there are just playing what they feel are simple, easygoing games. And now you have adults masquerading as teenagers, masquerading as kids, carrying on conversations, and before you know, they are leading your kids from what is one platform to another platform and encouraging them to do what essentially gives them the ability to begin to threaten your own kid. You're aware that when you begin to do this kind of chats and send information, people can begin to trace your IP address. In fact, you know when they're asking for your location, even if you don't want to tell them, and some of them who have to ask are those maybe who might not really be tech savvy and stuff, but for those who are well versed in the arts, they can discover it for themselves. Some kind of simple conversations, discussion can reveal to them the season where you are. Simple talks can reveal to them the actual location, whether you're living in the east, west, north, or south. And they begin to narrow it down until they get to your home city. Simple questions can reveal all this. And what 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old is designed to withstand those kind of probing questions? They will not even be aware that they are being taken down a trap to releasing such sensitive information. So what I want us to gain from this video, because while I sympathize with the fact that that kid was going through that kind of reality and he felt too, afraid, what the father used there was trapped to come share with his parents, I will encourage you and advise you, do not be in a hurry to hand those devices over to your kids. Get them engaged with other things. There are books they can read. There are other educative materials they can use. Have them spend time with friends you have personally vetted and approved, who are not going to be a wrong kind of influence. You're a parent, you are allowed to do these things. Because sometimes, when we watch the first video and sometimes people say, I don't want to be the parent that is too controlling. Please, if you want to be the parent that is too lax, you might become one of the parents who go on the news right now talking about how your kid has been preyed upon, stalked, sexually harassed, or even assaulted. Or you might have to become the parent of a teenager who ends up killing him or herself. Because these predators, they know no boundaries. They don't care. They are willing to go all out to do what they need to do to achieve their own purposes. And you don't want to find yourself trapped in that way. So here's the thoughts, because I want us to stop here, but here's the thoughts. Try taking away those phones from them and try suggesting an alternative. Because the idea is to get them not so dependent that without those phones or devices, they cannot function or do what they are supposed to do. All right, thank you to every one of you who has stayed tuned to the very end of today's episode. We will be coming your way same time again on our next episode as we continue looking into these current issues. Remember, we want to hear from you. It might be that we have not yet addressed something you feel that is of particular concern to you. Feel free to share it with us using the number displayed on the screen. +234 813 929 2708, or send an email to teensreality@lifechangerstouch.org. We look forward to hearing from you. And to every one of you, we urge you to subscribe, like, and follow us on YouTube with the handle Life Changers Touch TV. I'm your lovely host, Pastor Bill. Thank you for staying tuned. Hello, I want to welcome each and every one of you to the maiden edition of Teens Reality TV show. I am your host, Pastor Udo. Our vision is to create a new brand of teenagers who can get to understand who they are, who they were created to be by God, and helping them navigate this life easily by His help. It is so important